Hi everyone, I'm Setti Aladja, and this is the explanation of the scenario. The Sorites paradox is about the vagueness and logic. Imagine a heap of sand. If we remove one grain, it's still a heap. If we remove another, it still look like a heap. But if we keep going, eventually, again and again, there's just one grain left. Clearly, that's not a heap, but where did it stop being one? The problem is that there is no clear point where the transition happens. This paradox challenges us how we define vague concept.
I am Maejoye Bokingkito. I will be discussing those paradox. The Sorites paradox highlight how some words don't have clear-cut definition. So terms like hip or old are vague because there's no specific number that separate one category from another. So this makes logical reasoning difficult because of small gradual changes which don't seem to matter individually, but yet they lead to big differences over time. So this paradox, it shows to us that our language doesn't always fit neatly into strict logical rules.
Good day everyone, I am Johanna Dimasagka, and today I am going to discuss here is likely the Sorites paradox, which questions when a collection of grains stop being a heap as grains are removed one by one. The justification argues that concepts like heap are inherently vague. They don't have precise boundaries. One way to resolve this paradox is by imposing an arbitrary rule, such as saying a heap must have at least 100 grains. However, this solution is artificial because it doesn't reflect the natural way we use language. People don't count grains when calling something a heap. A deep approach is to accept that some concepts exist in a gray area. This means that logic which works well with clear, defined categories struggles with gradual changes where there's no sharp dividing line. Some ideas, like what count as a heap, are inherently uncertain, and we have to accept a level of ambiguity in our thinking.
Good day everyone, I am Melca Gie, Camarador, and today I'm going to discuss the practical implications. The Sorites paradox connects to real life in many ways. For example, when does a person become rich, or when does someone stop being young and become old? There is no clear point, it's a slow change, and that makes it hard to define exactly. We see this same problem in things like laws, medicine, and ethics. It's not always easy to say when something starts or stops. For example, when is someone very sick, or when is an action is wrong. In everyday life, we deal with these unclear ideas by using common sense and the situations around us. We don't always need perfect definitions. The Sorites paradox shows us that even if we can't draw a clear line, we can still understand and use these ideas in a useful way.
When it comes to vague concepts like heap or tall, I have come to realize that there's rarely a clear line that separates one state from another. There's no exact number of grains that suddenly makes a heap, and at the same time, there's no precise height that makes a person a tall person. Instead of chasing a strict definition, I think it makes more sense to approach these concepts with flexibility. Personally, I try to rely on context and also on general consensus, where the majority of people agree on. This paradox encourages us to try to be more aware of vagueness, and rather than letting it cause confusion, we should see it as a sign to be more open-minded. Accepting that some things can be pinned down exactly as they are will help us better navigate uncertainty and make more practical, thoughtful decisions.